go to Reverend Jim Wallis. Reverend Wallis, he is president of Sojourners, a Christian social justice organization. Reverend
Hello,
Wallis.
Senator.
How are you, Jim?
I'm good.
Good.
As you reminded us a week or two ago, when Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was killed 4 years ago, he wasn't just speaking about civil rights. He was fighting for economic justice, was about to launch a Poor People's Campaign. Yet 4 decades after the anniversary of his death, the poverty rate in America is virtually unchanged, and 1 in 6 of our children are poor in the richest nation in the world. So in the faith community, we are wanting a new commitment around a measurable goal, something like cutting poverty in half in 10 years. Would you commit, would you at this historic Compassion Forum commit to such a goal tonight, and if elected, tell us how you would mobilize the nation, mobilize us to achieve that goal?
Well, first of all, Jim, I appreciate the good work you've been doing on these issues, and I absolutely will make that commitment. Understand that when I make that commitment, I do so with great humility, because it is a very ambitious goal. And we're going to have to mobilize our society, not just to cut poverty, but to prevent more people from slipping into poverty. You know, this actually goes back to the earlier point you raised, where Senator Clinton suggested I was being elitist when I said that people are frustrated and bitter. That is absolutely true. That's not just true in small towns. That's true in urban areas. That's true in my community of the south side of Chicago, because people feel forgotten. They feel as if nobody's listening in Washington, and that every 4 years we have politicians who come out and make promises, and they're not kept. And so that's why I wanted to put the caveat on there. I make that commitment with humility, because we've got a lot of work to do economically in this country to bring about a more just and fair economy. It starts with, I think, recognizing that wages and incomes for average families have gone down during the most recent economic expansion. That's never happened before in the history of America since we started recording these statistics, at least since World War II. And so we've got to shore up the mortgage market to make sure that we don't have millions of people who are losing their homes. We're going to have to, I think, change our tax code. For us to provide tax breaks to the wealthiest among us, those who didn't need them and weren't even asking for them, at a time when ordinary folks are struggling to fill up a gas tank just to get to a job. I met a guy here in Pennsylvania when Bob Casey and I were traveling around, who told me his problem was he's looking for a job and it costs him more than he can afford just to go to a job interview. And so we've got to give them some tax relief, and we've got to invest in our infrastructure to create jobs, particularly those who are going to be getting laid off of the construction industry as the housing market goes down. And I've put forward very specific plans for that. We're going to have to, I think, invest heavily in clean energy. And if we have a cap-and-trade system, we can generate $150 billion over 10 years to invest in solar and wind and biodiesel, and train people to build windmills and build solar panels and make buildings more energy efficient, and make alternative fuels. All these things will strengthen the economy generally. And I left out one last point: healthcare. People are falling into bankruptcy. They are going without medical care. It is a moral imperative that we make sure that we have a plan in place that provides health care to every single American, and that has high quality and provides prevention. If we do those things, and that applies not just to poor people, but to working and middle-class families all across the country, then we also have to focus on those who, even when the economy is good and the middle class are doing well, are still impoverished. And that's a special challenge. And that involves, I think, going at the problem at its roots, really. Investing in early childhood education, working with at-risk parents, drastically improving our education system, K through 12, by paying our teachers more and demanding more from them, making sure that we have after-school programs and summer school programs, and many of these, by the way, can be part of a faith community. And so, just to go back to our theme here tonight, people sometimes ask me, what do I think about faith-based initiatives? I want to keep the Office of Faith-Based Initiatives open, but I want to make sure that its mission is clear. It's not to simply build a particular faith community. The faith-based initiatives should be targeted specifically at the issue of poverty and how to lift people up. And partnering with faith communities, I think we can achieve that as long as it's within the requirements of our Constitution, and we make sure that it's open to everybody. It's not simply the federal government funding certain groups to be able to evangelize.